So here it's done that way. But when I move my hand again, the box on the floor moves again. Okay, so you want to turn off the constraint. So when you have a constraint, let's say I've got a cube here. Let's take that and let's duplicate it. And I want this small cube to control the rectangle. So I'm just going to do this very basically here. Normally, when I'm doing a constraint, I'm going to add a locator. I like locators, but you can use groups. You can use whatever you want. So let's make sure locators are visible here. Okay. So we've got this. So what I'm going to do in my outliner, we've got this. This is going to be the master, or the lead object. Come on, double click. Interesting. So this is going to be the leader. This is going to be the follower. And then we've got our locator. So to set this up, I want to have I can do this in a lot of different ways. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take my following object and I'm going to constrain it to the locator. I'm going to take the locator first, then the follower, go to constrain, parent, maintain offset turned on, and I'll hit add. Now, as I move the locator, this object moves with. Now I need the locator to follow the cube. To do that, I'm going to parent the locator to the cube, not parent constraint, just parent. That's under edit, parent right here. I'm going to select the locator first this time, then the cube. You do the reverse order and hit P on the keyboard. With that, we have the cube that leads, and then this object follows. And with this setup, I can still animate this object like so, but they always follow along. In your case, you want this to drop. So for example, I'm going to take my pen, I'm going to drop it down, and I'm going to let go, and it stays behind. And I can do all of this without that pen starting to move. So to do this, you just need to set a key on your constrained object. So this cube here, for example, you can see it is constrained. If I hit S to set a key, notice how those turn green? And we get a new attribute, the blend parent, or the blend constraint. So the blend attribute is what allows us to turn the constraint on and off while we're animating. If it's set to 0, it doesn't follow along. Set this to 1, it follows. That's it. Just set a key on it. Now, if you're setting a key and it's not doing that, that's probably a preference issue. Just reset your preferences and it should work. So that's pretty much it. Set a key, you should be good to go. Hopefully that answers your question there. The other way to turn off a constraint would be to animate the weight of the constraint right here. I don't typically recommend that unless you're switching constraints, just because it's harder to retime animation. But it is one way. You just key this. Same thing. 1 is on, 0 is off.